Alright, guys. So we are going to actually see a guy accuse the police of I guess he did something crazy. I don't know. I don't have the full, the full thing, but we're going to see this court case.
Gonna sit down, dog?
I don't think I've ever, actually sat through one, so I think we should go ahead and sit down.
Sorry, we'll just roll.
So, who's representing the plaintiff?
Hello?
Nobody? Okay. Great job for you, man.
Is a plaintiff the guy I'm defending?
That's the one suing.
Oh yeah, us over here, dude.
This is not good, guys. He
Okay.
might
Right
lose.
here, my hands up, dude.
So it's you representing him, not all three of you?
All three of us. Jimmy Danger, attorney at law. We got Hank. What's his fucking
Hank
name?
Anderson's a Hank's Home Equity Loans and Law Firm.
And then we got
Willie Davidson. We all passed the bar.
Okay, and what's the reason for the plaintiff to sue?
Am I allowed to take the courtroom?
I mean, you're just telling me why he's suing. There isn't really much else you have to say.
Okay. Well, first, false imprisonment, and corruption upon the police department of Los Santos.
Ooh.
And we're looking for punitive damages here of $2 million.
Also, fabricating charges.
Shut up. That's corruption.
And how do you guys plead to that?
We plead non-guilty.
And are you representing yourself?
As a police department, we'll be representing ourselves. That is correct.
Okay. So we'll start with you guys. You guys have any witnesses? Anything you want to say?
Alright, he's just having
Yep.
standing problems.
Good evening, dudes and dudettes. My name is Jimmy Danger. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good.
Now, first I'd like to address the courtroom. The state of this courtroom, it seems like it's in a very fair manner. Hello, good evening, jury. I'm glad you guys took time out your day to come here. Now let's talk about the arrest date. Just give me 1 second to look at my, let me grab my notes. July 30th, 2019. My client, Khalil, that is your name, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Was pulled over by an Officer Bush. Officer Bush, are you present today? And Officer Bush and Officer Black, are you two present today in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
All right. Excellent. Now, do you remember the nights of July 30th, 2019?
Absolutely, I do.
And what did you pull my client over for?
Speeding, sir.
Speeding. Now, do you have this clocked?
We did. I believe Officer Bush was clocked since he was driving.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't recall you asking him to approach the stand.
I'm just questioning him.
Then you
cannot-
ask him
he
to go
can-
to the stand. You don't question him at his table. We have this over here for a reason.
Very well then.
This is not going
Well, then
good,
would you
guys.
like to take the stand?
I mean, you can request a certain officer to take the stand. You don't just ask if anybody wants to take it.
This is not going
Alright.
good, guys. I think they might lose this.
Alright.
Alright.
The
Your Honor.
main reason is that I will not be talking. I'm trying to let you guys
Yeah, I
listen
take
to
it, sir.
this
My,
whole
my
thing so
fellow
that it
colleague
kind of
is
smooths
getting
over,
lost.
and I mean, you
Yeah,
guys
go
won't
ahead.
hear anything that's going on if I
Okay,
keep
okay,
talking.
okay.
So, this is how it's gonna be: is that I will not be talking. You guys will
Alright.
have the full experience. So,
So, first things first here, I'm just going to go ahead and repeat what my other colleague here said in a time and fashionable manner here. Alright, so, We're here to sue PD over the false charges placed on Khalil Ward. My defendant here, Khalil, was pulled over by Officer Hunter Black as well as Officer Bush on 7/30 of 2019 for a speeding violation. May I have Officer Black approach the stand, please?
Absolutely.
Can you put your hands up for me before you sit down, please?
Whoa.
Alright. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Am I good to sit down, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Alrighty. So, my first question for you here is, where did the speeding violation take place?
The speeding violation happened on, I believe, 7006 Algin Avenue.
Okay, and do we have proof of when the gun was last calculated, sir?
The gun?
Yeah, you know, like the speed radar.
Oh, do you mean
You've got to
the
get that
radar
shit
itself?
calculated. Yeah, the speed radar.
He's asking when it was last
calculated.
calibrated.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
calibrated.
Calibrated.
Calibrate
There's a
before we
faulty
open on
word
duty,
there.
sir.
Do they get calibrated every time before you go on shift?
Absolutely, sir. Every time we enter a traffic stop, they always get recalibrated back to 0.
Okay. So I see here that my client did indeed have 2 warrants for intent to sell an armed robbery, but upon searching the vehicle, you found a machete in the backseat of my client's car and you charged him with a deadly weapon? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if he was charged for a deadly weapon, but yet he was using it for work purposes, is there any proof that that was used as a deadly weapon?
The thing is, he had a warrant out for his arrest. He was already a convicted felon, I believe. And him having a machete in his car is not very a good picture, is it, sir?
Yes, right. I
So yes, I
understand
believe
that's
it
not a
was a
good
deadly
picture, sir. But did you guys do any investigating around that? Check with his employer and everything to make sure that he actually was using it for work purposes?
We looked at his record, and there was no sign of him being a lumberjack, as he said.
Do we have the machete in an evidence bag?
We do, sir, I believe.
Could we bring that
I believe
evidence to
my
the stand?
Officer Lemon Jones has it.
Your Honor, do I have permission to go collect it from the vehicles we have parked outside?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Have the man at the doors escort you out to make sure nothing happens.
Okay, will do. Just can you follow me so I can go collect the evidence? Oh, I've got this
Yep.
one with me. No problem.
Yeah, I'll go.
I have my vehicles means. Oh, there they are. They will meet.
So guys,
Great.
I will give you a little bit of a more why I'm doing this. I want you guys to see more in depth of what happens in Redline besides like the cars. We also do this. We have juries. We have
He's
people
fudging on the
suing.
lies he's telling.
I'm pretty sure our PD runs. I'm pretty sure the judge. Everybody. So the law is still, you know, around that area. I'm pretty sure our jury is just random picks that end up showing up and probably, you know, helping hands.
I'm sorry, dude.
But this is a full legit, feels like a real, you know, court going on. So I just wanted to let you guys see this side of Redline, so that if you guys do have an interest on coming on Redline, this is also what
This
could
is my
happen
first
if
case,
you
dude,
do
but I said I'll
something
get paid.
that someone doesn't like. You will get sued, a court date will be set up, and so on, guys. We got a lot in here for you guys to have fun. So come to Redline. You guys know the drill. Join our Discord down below in the link. We'll take you to get a whitelist application. You go through a process going through an interview, and then you guys can possibly join. To join, you have to be 16 or older. So, yeah, that's a bummer. But, I mean, you guys come with good RP. We will let you in. You guys will enjoy
Alrighty,
all the
let's,
fun that is in here. So, I guess we
let's
just
up to
wait
the,
until the cop comes back, and we'll get back right to it, guys.
the judge up here. Thank you very much.
And phone.
Your Honor, I have collected the blade from my vehicle.
You can go ahead and show it to the jury.
Where's the evidence bag?
Jury, I've wrapped it around
Is it the
really
evidence bag?
tightly. It is currently in the evidence bag. Jury, do you see this machete?
Yep. That's a big one.
Okay. Your Honor, would you like the machete?
You can set it up here on the counter.
Okay.
No, Your Honor. I would like you to inspect that machete for, you know, said weed clippings and whatnot, if you could.
What kind of weed clippings?
It's not paraphernalia, sir. Like actual weeds, plants, like
Well-
chopping down weeds and stuff, you know?
Didn't you state that he was
Objection.
using it for a lumberjack?
No, I did not.
That's what
That's
the
me, Your Honor.
officer over here said, and then you guys asked to bring the machete for work purposes.
No, I have it right here on my papers. He works in the forest and down to chop down weeds. You know, clearing pathways and stuff.
Your Honor, can I speak?
Go ahead.
This man here, Khalid, said he uses it for work, cut down trees, and he said he had sap on it, sir, so whatever he told you was a lie.
How are you gonna give me faulty information?
May I speak, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Your Honor, I work in the forest. Okay, I had to chop down weeds, you know, to get to trees. This man said I'm a lumberjack. I am no way a lumberjack. Okay. So yeah, he found sap on it, but I'm not a lumberjack. Okay. You might not have found weed clippings. Okay. I wash my stuff, my blade when I'm done working. Okay, but that sap, that's hard to come off. He searched my vehicle after I was put under arrest for those 2 warrants, and tried to.
I'm
charge
going to
me with
cut
it,
you off
okay?
real quick. You said I would
Yes,
find
sir.
sap on the machete.
You could possibly find sap on the machete, yes, sir.
So what were you hitting to get sap onto the machete?
A tree, sir, like I just said.
What type of tree?
Sapling,
Sapling, sir.
A sapling is a baby tree, not a tree. It wouldn't be enough to
It's a
produce
tree,
sap
sir.
to put onto the tree.
It has sap, though, sir.
I mean, if you're using the machete to hit a tree, why are you cutting a tree down with the machete?
Sir, I work for a maple syrup company, okay?
Okay, so then why are you not using taps instead of a machete?
I'm sorry?
You tap a tree to get the...
I can't hear you. My Bluetooth's too loud, sir.
In order to get the maple sap out of the tree for maple syrup, you use a tap, not a machete.
Yes, sir. First of all, Your Honor, you're a judge. How do you know this?
I'm supposed to know things like this, buddy. That way I know
Also-
when people
also,
are lying.
I checked. I hit the tree to make sure there's even sap in there, sir.
You hit the tree,
Also,
but then...
Also, listen. Hold on. I gotta mute my Bluetooth real quick, sir.
Well, I want to tell the judge to hold on,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So if you don't mind telling my part of the story.
Officer Black, please go back to your seat and let him take the stand.
Thank
Absolutely,
you,
Your Honor. My pleasure to give my side of the story, sir.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, speak.
Alright, so I was pulled over. Oh, my apologies. I was pulled over for speeding on the highway. I then pulled over. Officer Bush and Officer Black walked up to my vehicle, asked for my information. I gave them my information and they ran it and then proceeded to pull out their weapons and order me out the vehicle. I was placed under arrest for the 2 warrants I had out of Liberty City. I was then told I was going to be charged with possession of a deadly weapon. At the jail, I was put in a holding cell where Officer Bush, I do believe, went into the cell, used the restroom while I was in there. Very unprofessional, and then walked out. And then I was taken to the prison, and they gave me the max sentence for 2 warrants, but they said I was charged for, let's see here, They said I was charged for murder of an LEO, attempted robbery, which I did do attempted robbery, evading ×2, I did not do that, I did not do murder, assault on an LEO, I did not do that, brandishing a firearm, I did not do that, and felony speeding, sir. So I only had 2 warrants that I should have been arrested for, and they gave me life in prison for multiple charges I did not commit.
Okay, but we'll go back to your machete incident. You've been
Yes,
arrested
sir.
before, correct?
No, sir, I have not. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Total thing.
And you have been released on parole from the prison, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir.
Is it not against the law to have a weapon when you are on parole?
Well, no, sir, I didn't have a weapon while I was on parole.
But this goes back to the machete thing. You had the machete in your vehicle, correct?
Your Honor.
1 second, let him speak.
I'd like my lawyer to take over, please.
Go ahead.
There we go.
I don't... Hold on, let's go to this
Which
point.
one?
Which lawyer do you want to take over?
My lawyer, Mr. Hank, please.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Could I bring my second lawyer here to the stand as well, please?
You can try.
Okay. Well, first things first, like I'm going to want to state here, Your Honor, is my client here was not on parole at the time of the incident. He just had 2 warrants out for his arrest, so therefore him voiding parole and having a machete is invalid. He wasn't on parole at the time. He had 2 warrants for his arrest, and that was the only 2 warrants he had.
Did he ever, I mean, do you have written proof that he was off parole from the last time that he was arrested?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
In fact, we tried to get his ex-parole officer here, but she's very busy at this moment, and she's on vacation.
But it still doesn't clarify why he was carrying a machete in the car.
It's for work purposes, dude. We already
Work
told you this,
purposes,
okay?
sir.
I've been
His,
over this before, but he had no proof of that. There's
Right, but
no
there's
need
also
for a
no proof,
machete.
Do
Your
we
Honor.
have pay stubs? Do we have
Your
pay
Honor, there's
stubs
also
from
no
our
proof
client?
of it being used as a murder weapon.
I never stated that it was a murder weapon.
They're stating that it's a deadly weapon. They're trying to implode just because my client here is black. They're trying to pin on him that he's carrying a machete for a murder weapon.
It has nothing to do with him being black. I never brought up the state. I've never brought up the state of him being black in the situation.
Well, Your Honor, you see, it was used for work purposes, and he does have a pay stub from Maple Syrup Company.
Send
only
me the
one,
pay
though.
stub and let the jury see it.
He was only employed for a week until you guys took him to jail and affected his
We have
family
pay
life.
stubs?
His wife and kids don't want to talk to him anymore because they think he's a murderer.
Your Honor, may I add a couple facts in?
You guys should be speaking to the jury as well. They are the one who's going to decide his fate, not me.
Oh, of course. But may I add a couple facts in?
You could try. I mean, the last time you attempted, it didn't end up well for you.
I just passed the bar, dude. Just passed the bar. Just passed.
Okay, what about the other 8 years of college before the bar?
It was a blur, dude. It was a blur. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Your Honor, the jury. Before the nights of July 31st, 2019, my client over here was employed to a sapling and excavation company within the forest. Due to the not a lot of resources, they give him a machete.
Could you please move?
Not machines, not the proper materials, not anything. Okay? Now he's only been working at this place for 1 week. Not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, not a year, but 1 week. And ever since the false imprisonment of my client, where they gave him murder of an LEO, possession of a deadly weapon, evading ×2, assault on LEO, and brandishing a firearm. Now granted, and felony speeding. Now, granted, even with the warrants out on my client, it was inevitable for him to get arrested and maybe lose his job. But with the charges that you gave him, he didn't even have a fighting chance to keep his job. He was imprisoned, sentenced to life for a murderer, which my client is not. That's all.
May I add something, Your Honor?
Keep it quiet over there. Your Honor and jury,
if
is
he
there
wants
any
to
evidence
speak, he can
providing of
speak.
the... Okay, well, is there any evidence provided of the murder of an LEO and the assault of an LEO? Because I requested from the police barracks to see a list of my client's warrants that he had out, and at the current time there were only 2 warrants out for him.
Your Honor, can I speak?
Go ahead.
The evidence was I was in a plain-clothes officer at the time when the man behind you assaulted me in the middle of Grove Street. That's the evidence we have, sir.
I'd like to speak. Your Honor.
Go ahead and speak.
My name was never given out until I was pulled over. And that was after the fact of any incident on Grove Street, Your Honor. So there's no way they could have got my name.
Your name doesn't change how your face looks. If it's the same identification that way, it's...
Sir,
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions you want to ask him while he's up here?
Yes, I believe
Oh,
my
yes, I do,
officer
Your
level wants
Honor.
to speak.
Go ahead and approach the stand.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
1 minute, sir. I can't hear you.
Alright, I'll give you that minute.
Go ahead.
Alright. So my first question is, what is the name of the maple syrup, maple sap, or whatever company you work for?
Sir, my lawyer
Or
just said
have
it's
worked for.
Sapling and Excavation Company.
Okay. And can you give me the name and a contact number of anyone that works within that company, whether it's your boss or a fellow employee, which can vouch for your possession of a machete on that evening?
Yes, sir. His name is Sean Perry.
John Pierre, and do you have a number that we can contact
Perry.
him on?
Sir, I don't remember his number. My phone was taken from me before I went to prison, sir.
I can make a phone call and make Sean Perry appear, Your Honor.
I would like to see Jean Pierre, if that is possible.
We're very
Can
close.
the,
Alright, I'm gonna go make a phone call.
please wait for the honor
May I be
to-
excused, Your Honor?
If you're excused from the courtroom now, you can't reappear after the court started as a lawyer. Do you understand that?
I think that that concludes that question, Your Honor. All right. I can move on to my next if you wish. Before ending with a final statement from us.
Your final, so go ahead.
I'll do the final question and then the final statement.
Okay.
Your
So-
Honor?
Can you explain
Yeah.
to me where you got the request?
Hold on, Lemon. Yes.
Can I request a recess?
I mean, you can, but if you're not here and present when Sean Perry comes back and speaks, that would be... but both parties actually have to agree for us to go into a recess, so you have to talk to them.
Well, as long as both parties agree, I'm in agreement.
I don't believe it's time.
What's the
to go to
reason for this
recess.
recess?
We need to do some more deliberations up on our side, sir.
I mean, would you not have done these deliberations beforehand?
I'm talking to the judge, sir.
Sorry, can you
I
repeat
don't
that?
believe we agree.
We need to have a quick recess for a discussion. Well,
I mean, both
lawyers and
parties
clients.
have to be in agreement.
I don't agree yet, Your Honor. I want to hear what Lemon has to say to Kelly.
May I request a recess after you talk to my client?
You can request a recess whenever you want, but both parties have to agree to it in order for the recess to take place.
Are we in agreement to a recess, sir, after you talk to my
Negative,
client?
That would be a no.
What a guy, dude.
Alright, my final question is, you've requested a lump sum of $2 million. Can you explain to me where you achieved this value from?
Well, sir, I was placed in prison for life, virtually for, charges I did not do. I did not murder Elio. I did not evade. You guys ruined my reputation within the community. I don't have a job. I don't have any way to make money, so...
Okay. Your Honor, may I make my final statement?
Go ahead.
Jury, what the gentlemen over here have not told you is that this gentleman did not serve his full life sentence, and his sentence was actually reduced to a 20-year. Alright? His
That's
lawyer
a
team
lot.
seem to be very unprofessional. They've come in with a story that does not quite match up, talking about Sap using machete. I tell you right now, a machete is not as a machete is more expensive
The fuck was that?
than a tap.
Objection, Your Honor.
What's your objection?
My client should not be held liable for the lack of resources at his employment.
No one's holding him responsible for the resources. I mean,
You guys,
they're,
with all due
he's bringing
respect,
up-
Your Honor,
with
you
all
guys
due
are saying-
respect, he's bringing. I'm not saying anything. He's bringing up his final statement, and you're interrupting it. He's not questioning him. He's saying his side.
I'm just letting it known be known.
And I'm
it
letting
be
you know
known
the
in
next time
some
you
documents.
speak up like that, I'm gonna hold you in contempt.
May I continue, Your Honor?
You can finish your statement.
This gentleman over here was charged with armed robbery and intent to sell. Clearly a dangerous man. With a machete on him, it seems that he cannot be trusted with such weapon. The excuses that he've made for having this weapon on his person or within his vehicle do not add up. Collecting
Objection, Your Honor.
saplings? This makes no sense.
Your Honor,
That ends my
if I may speak.
That ends my final statement, Your Honor.
Let him finish talking, then you guys can say your side. You can go
ends
back
my
to your
final
seat.
statement.
Now, do you want to speak, or do you want your lawyers to speak for you again?
I'd like to speak, Your Honor.
Good job, Lemon. Did good.
Go ahead and speak.
Let me get over here. The jury, let me tell you. So, I was not only charged for 2 warrants, okay? I was charged for everything that my lawyers read off to you, including murder of LEO. Regardless if I was put in jail for, life or 20 years, it's still false imprisonment, okay? Now, you are not the judge to tell if I am liable to carry a weapon or not. That's not up to you, okay? You don't know who I am, you don't know where I come from, therefore...
I don't mean to interrupt you here, but how is it false imprisonment if you were imprisoned for having warrants as well?
Sir, they fabricated charges, sir.
It would be false charges on that pretense, but you would still be imprisoned if you had warrants, so it's not false imprisonment.
Sir, I wouldn't have lifetime in prison, sir. More or less 20 years, but...
And
I'd like to,
your sentence was your sentence was reduced, as they said, to 20, which means that things could still be under investigation, so some charges could not have gone through, correct?
No, sir, they told me I was charged with that already.
But they told you your sentence was reduced here as well.
My apologies. They never told me my sentence was reduced or anything.
They just said that the sentence was reduced. Did you not hear that statement?
I did hear that. That does not mean that it was reduced. It was